Hi, and welcome to the Opinionated Bitch. I am your fabulous drag queen host, Prince Electro Diamond. And today, I'm going to talk about isolation in the LGBT community. Now, actually, what inspired this episode of the Opinionated Bitch was a post that I came across on Instagram from the Instagrammer Matthew Crawford, who said, "Does anyone else ever feel alone? We're living in a more technologically advanced era of humankind, and I've never felt so disconnected. No one looks at each other anymore. No one says hi everywhere. I go places and people are staring at their phones. Are we afraid? Do we all hate each other? What's the fuck is going on? We don't share our thoughts or ideas anymore, unless we're trying to prove someone wrong. We focus on everyone's downfalls and mistakes. We let political views control who we associate with. Families have been broken apart. Year-long friendships ruined. The new age mantra is love and acceptance, but we are too fast to hate, reject each other. It's just sad." Continues. I can easily stay in my lane and mind my own business. But I'd be lying if I said it wasn't bothering me. And I'd like to believe that most people feel that way too, but I don't know. Most days I feel like we've reached a point of no return. Maybe we'll wake up one day and realize how fucking disconnected and brainwashed we all become. Or we'll just keep TikToking our way into oblivion. Now, I partially want to respond to this at first. And I do have to say, Matthew Crawford is a very attractive person. So, my point is, maybe you just surrounded yourself with shallow, vapid people. Which, for a lot of people who are extremely attractive, that's what happens. It's honestly a mentality of, especially LA gays. It's just find someone attractive, be their friend. Find someone who can help you succeed in life, go to them. And that to me sounds like a sad existence. It's probably why I would never want to move to Los Angeles. Because yes, there are some great things in LA. There's Hollywood. There's the Young Turks, honestly the best progressive network ever. But to be in that like vapid, fake sort of life, that would seem so lonely to me. Just living to constantly have someone validate who you are, that's fucking depressing. But I will say there is a problem in the LGBTQ plus community with people being isolated. In fact, before the pandemic, 21% of LGBTQ plus people said they experienced loneliness very often or every day. But during the pandemic, that number rose to 56%. So it is a problem. And it's because in the LGBT community, you have a lot of people who are not allowed to be outcasts. Which is so strange because the LGBT community was built on outcasts. Well, I shouldn't say we all, but a lot of us were. I fucking was. Like, I had people who only liked me for shallow reasons. Shallow reasons. Shallow reasons. I was a performer. I was a songwriter. Everyone came to me. Attention, attention, attention. Everyone only wanted to use me and then spit me up. That's why, probably to this day, from high school, I don't have many friends. Honestly, the only person who I keep like in constant contact with is my best friend, who I've known, honestly, for like 12 years now, almost 13 years. And like, I will admit, I am someone who thrives on being alone. But if I fucking need to talk to somebody, I'm going to do it. And sorry, just reading my facts. Sorry. And again, during the pandemic, I said the number rose to 56%, but probably towards the middle of the pandemic, 67% of LGBTQ plus people felt lonely very often or every day during the pandemic. So, yes, I get people feeling lonely during the pandemic, but even if you go back to that 21% number, we're supposed to be a community of inclusion, of love. Why the fuck is everybody saying that, but they're not acting on it? It's almost the way that people are, especially with like dating profiles, where they have dating profiles that say no fats, no femmes, no Asians. Fuck you. Fuck you. I understand everybody has preferences, but get over yourself. You're probably just a hot guy next door, and there's probably 10 other fucking people like you. Sorry. Whew. Had to get that off. I mean, yes, I understand everybody's special and unique in their own way. But it's... honestly, there's some people whose like only personality characteristics is that they have a hot body. And there's nothing going on up here. In fact, I will say this. I'm open about it. I considered myself fucking ugly for years. So that forced me to work on my personality, and it forced me to have to like develop some talents and not just depend on looks. That's honestly why I wanted to do drag, because that allowed me to have people come up to me. I didn't have to start any conversations. They could start a conversation talking to me, and I could just join in. Because I have social anxiety, as many people do. Anyway, back to the stats, which are so fun. Sarcasm included. Anyway, so 51% of Asian and minority ethnic people experience discrimination or poor treatment from others in the LGBT community due to their race. Come on now. We're already the fucking outcast. Why are we outcasting people even more? Like, God. I don't get it. I mean, yes. Obviously you don't want to be friends with everybody. But is it really that fucking hard to say hi to somebody? I know for some people it is. For me, it would be. But there are some of you assholes out there who are like social butterflies and will just fucking ignore somebody if they're not attractive to you. And I have to say, beauty fades, darling. So at some point, you're going to be considered old. You're going to be considered washed up. And at some point, you'll probably realize that, oh, wait, maybe I should have been nice to that person that I was fucking rude to years ago. But hindsight is 2020. It's not going to fucking help you anymore. But anyway, another statistic. 36% of trans people experience discrimination or poor treatment of others in their local LGBT community due to being trans. Again, we're already a minority. Why the fuck aren't you treating everybody well? I mean, shit. It's not that hard. It's really not that hard. To just... I'm not saying you gotta build a relationship with every fucking person you meet. But just say hi to them, man. It's so... It's almost like... For a lot of... I'm gonna speak for gay men. There are a lot of gay men that only think with their dick. If I don't find it attractive, if I don't want to fuck it, I don't want to talk to it. And that's a disgusting mentality to have. It is. Like, I understand it's human nature because of being guys and everything, but, like, still. You can't have a simple fucking conversation. Come on now. And then down the line, again, another minority, 26% of LGBTQ plus disabled people whose activities are largely limited because of health problems or disability experience discrimination or poor treatment in their local LGBTQ community due to being disabled. Again, this is because you see a disabled person, you don't want to fuck them. Like most people behind the microphone would fucking sugarcoat the shit for you. No, you don't want to fuck them. That's why you're not nice to them. It's disgusting. Like, we all have one thing in common. All those groups I mentioned have one thing in common. We were all discriminated against at some point in our life. And if you haven't experienced discrimination, just know that somebody fucking has before you, so you didn't have to. But you'd rather just sit there and let those people feel marginalized. And in this isolationship, I get it. During the pandemic, a lot of people couldn't see people. I mean, I had to fucking work through the pandemic, so I had to see people all the time. But a lot of y'all were trapped. And I was hoping that some of that would change your behavior. But apparently it fucking hasn't. Based on this shit. And come on now. Like, you've got motherfuckers out here killing themselves because of the way society treats gays. And then you have people out here fucking killing themselves because of the way the community treats them. We are the LGBTQ plus community. We're supposed to stand in solidarity together. not fucking push ourselves away from each other. It's not supposed to be a concept of twinks only hang out with twinks, bears only hang out with bears, otters only hang out with otters. Fuck that. You gotta have friends of every community in the LGBTQ community. It's sad. Because, as I'll say, you could just constantly go around trying to fuck people, but then all of a sudden you're going to be on your deathbed one day and ain't nobody going to be there for you. And you're going to think, at that point, that's when you're going to think that you should change. But by that point, it's already too fucking late. After seeing these stats, I want to try and be better. I want to try and get to know people. Because again, I'm going to try and put my foot forward. As I said, I am socially awkward. I have fucking Asperger's. Like, having conversations with people isn't easy for me. But when I'm in an LGBTQ plus event, I'm going to talk to people. I'm not at those very often because, unfortunately, I live in a small town where not a lot of shit's going on. But I will take that. And as I already responded to Matthew Crawford, my thing would also be to him. Maybe you need to open up a little bit. Because you may say that it's you feeling this way, but you're probably feeling this way because you're not open to people who would actually listen to you. I will say this. There are times my best friend and I will spend an hour and a half, 2 hours on the phone. We will spend 4 hours hanging out with each other. And we'll talk. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. Maybe I found somebody in my life that's honestly going to talk. Honestly going to have a conversation. Because I honestly don't think it's that hard. Maybe it's you need to dig in and try and find like old soul kind of hipster people to hang out with. Because as I keep repeating, but I'm going to say it again, the vapid people don't got anything to fucking say. The like truly gorgeous people, most of the time, they don't got a lot to say because they never had to experience adversity. Like, you come up to me and I get comfortable with you, shit, I'll have a fucking 4-hour conversation with you. I don't give a fuck. But that's who I am. And maybe it's because a lot of people, especially younger people, myself, the millennials, and Gen Z, we have a different outlook on life because of cell phones. Like, in truth, in some way, technology has made it to where people don't know how to talk. I'm not talking about all of us, but I'm talking about a lot of us who just don't know how to talk because we're constantly on our phones. And some of y'all friends, probably constantly on your phone, you're probably with somebody and you're trying to get dick while you're in somebody's fucking house. And it's like, calm down. Calm down. Like, I get you being horny, motherfucker. I am too. But, like, at some point, you need to be able to converse with somebody. Because, again, free love, I get it. Fuck the whole world if you want to. Fuck every person who ever messages you on Grindr or Tinder if that's what you want. But at some point, you're going to turn shit. For some people, you're going to turn 25. And then they're going to consider you an old fucking man. "25, you're not even to 50. And somebody says, oh, you're too old. I don't want to go with anyone old as you, anyone elderly like you." And to those people, I say, fuck off. You're going to age one day too, motherfucker. You're going to age one day too, motherfucker. And then you're going to have some asshole like you telling you, oh, you're too old. That's what I don't get about people. Why would you put a cap on somebody in their like 20s and 30s? If you say, oh, I don't want to go out with, I don't want to like fuck somebody who's 67, I mean, that is a little ageist of you, but it makes sense. But if you're 21 and you won't fuck somebody who's older than 25, it's like, first of all, you're missing a whole age demographic that's actually probably a little bit more experienced and may be able to help you. But no, keep your ageist fucking ways. Then all of a sudden your number's going to have to go up because you're getting old. And if you did drugs all throughout your fucking 20s, you're probably going to age a lot too. And if your idea of like every weekend is like getting drunk and fucked up in the club, you're going to fucking age a lot, bitch. And, or like going out to the beach and just constantly tanning, that's going to catch up with you. Till you're going to look like a raisin. And eventually at that point, all of a sudden, you're probably going to get older and you're going to want to fuck somebody who's younger. But as I said, they're not going to want to fuck you because they have the mentality of you. And again, hindsight, 2020, you're going to realize you shouldn't have been so stupid. But again, you're old. And then some people, quote unquote, old. And you're not going to have anything. In some ways, they'll make you feel like you don't have anything left to give society. And I think about that when I think about aging. Because that's scary, getting older. And eventually you will be in isolation. And in fact, from what I read, another statistic, isolation can lead to Alzheimer's. So, again, that's why they say stay active, stay active. I'm trying. I'm doing it. I fucking set up this microphone and set up this computer because I had something to say. Because I felt that I had to respond to Matthew Crawford shit. I don't even know if he'll ever see it. But I hope that he will. Maybe this is what I'll say to the message to the gays. If any of you who are my fans follow Matthew Crawford, he needs to see this. And maybe he needs to respond to me because, again, he might say I'm out of line. Fuck, I may be out of line. The name of the show is called The Opinionated Bitch. It's not called The Opinionated Nice Person. It's called I See Something. If I got something to say, I'ma say it. And with that being said, I'm going to send this ship to a close. This has been The Opinionated Bitch. I have been your host, Prince Electro Diamond, and I hope you've enjoyed.